I've made an observation. Why the most talented people in life, the most skilled and the most active people, they don't always emerge the best in life. I believe sometimes you've wondered, maybe in the class, the person that will come top, you observe is not really the most intelligent per se. The people that succeed the most in life, they are not really the most talented, they are not really the most skilled or the most active. I've tried to observe to know why, and I'm still observing. So I'll be sharing few or one of the things I've observed that contributes to that. That irrespective of the level of skill, level of talent that somebody has, irrespective of the level of activity, labor somebody is putting in, that does not really translate to success. The person will not emerge as the best. What contributes to that? So it's my observation. One of the observations that I've made is that life in itself was designed to operate and to find its complements from different dimensions. So life is designed to operate in dimensions, and then they find their complements from these dimensions, which means life is not one-sided. There are often other sides to life. Life is not one-sided. There is a physical side to life, and there are other sides to life. But the challenge we see with people is that they live life as though it is one-sided, as though it is only the physical side of life. Thereby, most people pay attention to the physical side of life, and then little or no attention to the other side of life. I remember one of the prayer that Paul was praying for the Thessalonian church. He said that the God of peace himself should sanctify your body, your soul, and your spirit, trying to bring our attention to various sides of life. But unfortunately, we act as though this other side doesn't matter. Have you observed maybe an individual trying to make an amendment from a printed work, and all he does or she does is to try to correct the error made on the already printed work, no matter how hard the person try? Let's say you did a typo while you are trying to. I remember I was trying to verify my profile for someone, and then the moment I will send it, I will notice that there is a typo. I will just ask him to please give me a moment so I can correct it. You understand? So as to correct it. The reason is because if I fail to do what I should do from the back end, the result of that my error will be seen by everybody. But I now, instead of me to allow that mistake to continue or to just flow, I went back to something that will give birth to the one everybody will see. What I was doing on my system is not what everybody will see. But the moment we push it out, people will see it. And that's when it becomes physical. So while it is not yet out in the open, it's not yet in the physical dimension, I needed to pay attention to the back end, so that my mistake will not be seen, will not be visible to others. It was just visible to me and the person working with me at the back end. So life has different sides. Trying to correct your results, which is a display of what happens at the back end, is an exercise in futility. Will not make any impact in real life. Life is not meant to operate from one side. It is more than one side. I mentioned that there is a physical side and there are other sides. And the efficiency of the physical side of life depends on the other sides. When we say efficiency of the physical side, we are talking about the results. The result we get in life depends on the other side. The productivity we have, to a very large extent, depend on the other side. So for somebody to presume or to conclude that his result in life will always be proportionate to what he or she knows alone, what you know, like your skill, what you have on your head alone, will be misleading. But rather, it is to the degree, to how what you know has influenced and changed you or transformed you. So what we know alone, the skill we have alone, is just one side. The information we have gathered is just one side. And if we just presume that I've known so much, and based on the fact that you have known so much, you should expect so much from me. No, it's a fallacy. It's not true. The skill you think you have learned, how has it influenced and transformed you? The information you've been gathering, the books you've read, to what extent have they influenced and transformed you? It is to that degree that we reflect on your results. The reason also, many people, even though they have been in the right places, around the right people, at the right time, but has failed to achieve their dream, is also because of this thing we are talking about. You're in the right place, you might be in the midst of the right people at the right time, and yet will not take your chance. It is possible. So it's not always how can I meet so person? How can I be in so place? Because I can tell us for free, there are places where people have found themselves, others are praying to be there. Yeah. A woman that had an issue of blood said, if I can just touch the hem of his garments, I'll be made whole. The same dream she was dreaming was what some people were doing without being intentional. I don't know if you're getting my story. People were already thronging on the person carrying the miracle, and yet nothing was happening to them. But another person from somewhere is praying and dreaming. If that person can get an opportunity to meet that person and to do what he or she is supposed to do. And they will say, luck came the way of that woman, and she managed to touch the hem of the garment, and she was made whole. Now, what happened to the other people that was touching? And you will observe that even Jesus himself said, somebody has touched me. He said there was an intentional touch. So a lot of people were in the same place, the same time, meeting the same Jesus, but no testimony. Why? The reason is because for such transformation to happen, remember I said there are other sides of life. It's not about labor. Labor is one side, yeah. Others manage to come out. And we do come out every day. We do leave our houses every day. Some are in the market right now, trying to hustle. Some are at the motor parks right now, trying to hustle. Bus terminal. Some are at the airport right now, trying to hustle. But unfortunately, many will come back with stories. Stories like, the people I met today are bad people. Stories like that. The place I went today is a bad place. Stories like that. Man, the economic policy is terrible. Such stories. But I tell you, it's not completely true. Because a lot of people living in the same condition are still succeeding. What is the difference? Until you become the right person, in the right place, in the right time, in the midst of the right people, you will hardly hit your breakthrough. And when we talk about being the right person, we're talking about the other center, the other parts that contributes to life. The other parts. You know, our action is preceded by our thoughts. What we think goes before what we do. In fact, our thought goes before our emotion. A man wrote a book and did a chart trying to explain 4 quadrants, you know. Fine, he's right to do what he did, but I can just summarize it to 3 quadrants. I did a graph, and you have a physical part, you have the other part, spiritual part, and you have the emotional part that kind of bridged both the spiritual dimension and the physical dimension, the emotional dimension, because you cannot act until you've thought. Yeah, emotion precedes action, and then thought precedes emotion. So things don't just happen. Something makes them to happen. And the way you think is who you are. So the right person, that is the right thought, the right emotion that will lead to the right action. That even when you are acting with wrong emotion, you will get wrong results. Yeah, right action with wrong emotion will give you wrong results. And many times, this is what, you know, these thoughts are results in life. These thoughts are results in life. I've come to know that the things we don't see with our eyes, they are far more powerful than the things we see. Even the Bible has a testimony of that. That the things we do not see are much more valuable than the things we see. And then because we don't see these parts, we trivialize them. But they are the software that runs us. They are the operating system that determines the efficiency of our mechanism. So until we become the right person, even when we are in the right places, we will hardly, strive. I wrote something. I said, our character is the display of our thoughts. Our character is the display of our belief system. Our character is the display of our strengths. Our character display what we think. Remember, character is produced when you have taken repeated action over a period of time. Yeah, character is produced when an action is repeated over a period of time. Character is produced. It becomes your character. Whatever becomes your predominant thought will influence you. And then as you keep doing so thing, becomes your habit. And habit over a long period of time becomes your character. So character is a display. It shows what is happening behind. What you think, what you thought. If somebody comes now and then is displaying a kind of display of anger, that action was inspired by something. Somebody don't just wake up and become angry. Something inspired it. So, and if you continuously behave in such way, it becomes a habit. If a particular thing will trigger somebody to become angry over a period of time, that becomes the person's habit. And the moment it becomes the person's habit, the person will be known by that by many people. It becomes his character. So character is a display of strength. Display of your belief system is a display of our thoughts, and it is measured in the presence of pressure, in the presence of fear, in the presence of worry or anxiety, in the presence of inconvenience, in the presence of discomforts. That's where strength is measured. That's where character is measured. And I've learned something, in the course of life, living life. If I want to know your strengths, remember I've mentioned what character is. Character is your strength. It's a display of your strength. I can put you in an uncomfortable zone. It is at that zone you display your strength. Yeah, let me use this other example. You know about some people that the moment they gain admission into the university, they begin to talk to people anyhow. At that point, they have entered a zone that is not comfortable for them. At that point, their true self will show. Arrogance will show. Some it is when they graduate. Some it will be when they go for youth service. Some will be when they get jobs. You know, they can maintain their fake self while things are not working. But the moment it's like something is working, you see the truth, because they have entered a particular state where they are not, uncomfortable state is not only when things are hard. When things are hard is one. When something is also working very well, it's also an uncomfortable state because the person is not used to it. Now you see the person showing his unstableness. Maybe an individual that didn't plan and he makes $1 million. If time is not taken, you see the person begin to carry women about. It's not that $1 million that made him to carry women. It's that it is inside him. Or somebody that goes to steal from people because there is no money in his bank account. It's not because there is no money in his bank account. It's because there has always been that intention in him. So a test of strength is in situations or circumstances that are not convenient. Something you are not used to. Like some people they have always been in the cycle of religious organization. When you bring them into public places, you see them stealing. You'll be surprised. But I thought this person is so and so. How come this person is stealing? It is not the fact that they came from religious places. Because in those places, that place have been very, very comfortable. They are not tempted. They are not pressured. The point I just want to ask is, how much strength do you have? If somebody fails in times of adversity, it means that his strength is not strong. How much can you hold? To know your strength is to subject you to a temporal state of discomfort. Then you will display or will discover the true holding capacity of your strength or character. And this is why even people that appear to be good don't always come out good at the end of the day, because life is not just one-sided. There are other sides to life. I might be the best speaker in the world, but do I have character that will endear me to people that will make that my skill to be seen at some platforms? Do I have that? If no, you'll be the best speaker in a local stage. Let's pay good attention to our spirituality and to our mentality. For the sake of the length of this video, I don't want to go there, but let's pay good attention to our spirituality and to our mentality. Our mentality lies in the realm of our emotion. Our emotion bridge our physical parts and our spirituality. We need to pay attention to these two parts. You might have the whole skill, but if you lack these two, you go nowhere. This is my observation. Why the most skilled, many a times, the most talented, many a times, the most active, most at times, don't also come out as the best, because they just felt, they presumed that having so and so skill alone will make them the best. No, let's pay attention to this other side too, because life is not meant to run on one side. We need to balance everything. Thank you, and God bless you.